One of the coolest things about being in gore is that you can be anything you want to be. I mean, literally. I got more stuff popping up. I haven't ever figured out how to, and I won't change it. Anyway, you can be anything you want to be. I'm going to do this particular tape, and then I'm going to do another one where I'm going to do something that hopefully you'll enjoy. I'm going to show you different locations. There's two things that are unique to Gore Roleplay. Number one is the fact of the wide range of characters. If you play, for instance, there's Game of Thrones roleplay in Second Life. And on the Game of Thrones one, it's very distinctive. You know what kingdoms are there, you know what the roleplay roles are going to be, and it takes forever to set up your character. I know somebody was doing it and complained that she had to write all this stuff out before you do it, which, by the way, there is a little bit of that in Gore. You need to make some decisions. But the point is, Gore's not limited by location, and I'll explain that on the next video, or even type. Now, most people have a huge misconception of Gore. They think that all the women are slaves, and they get whipped and fucked all the time, and hopefully YouTube doesn't ban me for saying that. And then they think that all the men are northern masters or cruel to women. And there is a hell of a lot of that, but it's not what Gore is. So what I've done is I found a place. This is in Carta. Again, if you want the location, I'll put it in the chat. I'm not going to right now, but if you want it, just put it in the chat below. I'll give you the location for this. The only problem is everything's in German. And Carta has one of the best training centers I've ever seen in Gore for new people, if you know German. There's nothing like it on the English side. So I'm just going to go through and explain what these are. First of all, there is what's called the Priest Kings. They're in front of us. Or Priester, as it says below. They wear white, or gray in this case. They basically are the ones who served the ones that brought everybody to Gore. Second of all is the scribes, or scriber. The scribes are interesting. We're going to have lessons on each one of these castes. I'm not going to at this time. The scribes always wear blue. Yes, all these are color-coded. There's several castes. Each one of them has a separate color. The scribes have blue. I'll do an episode on where to go to get outfits. There's 3 places that I have, and those I'll have to put below or it'll be worthless for you guys. But the scribes are the intellectuals. They write things down. You can see the quill there. We'll have a whole lesson on that, but basically they're the ones who run a good portion of what happens. Those who love scripting in Second Life, like to build, like to do things, we have a builders class. And you can see their color right there. It's brown. By the way, these are big banners that hang outside of buildings. So what you're seeing, those banners, you'll see them on buildings. Because each of these castes usually have their own building in every city. So that's where you know, like where the medical is next to it. The green, there'll be a green banner, or there'll be a brown banner. If you are good at scripting, at building, at raising up cities, or putting in doors, a builder's a good fit for you in Gore. Next one, and again, I'll spend more time on all these, is the physician's class. And you go, what do we need? Now, Goreans live forever, pretty much. Well, I'm saying that, but their lives are like 4 times longer. But, however, they need, for instance, the slaves need to take slave wine so they don't have children. When they do combat, and yes, there is combat, because I'll get to that next, they get repaired. They literally have a HUD that allows you to put bandages on, things like that. In the place that I'm in Carta, they actually have bandages and stuff in a wheelchair. So they actually have a purpose, even though Goreans do not get sick. Warrior class, which somebody identify with. I'll do a whole video on this. You can fly birds called tarns. You can ride animals that look like little dinosaurs and race them. You do sword fights. You do naval battles. You do raids. where you literally get with a group of people, go into another city and fight them. So for those who are big on that type of combat and other games, it's all here. What's cooler though is you don't have little stick figures like you do in a lot of the games that you see. These are you going in with full-blown deals and battling with swords, arrows, catapults, all of it, and they're all there. Mm, incredible. And so those are the major casts. Like I said, they get a building for each one, and they play. So, but it isn't just that. The role play goes way beyond that. Let me, and like I said, I've not seen any other place that you can see this, but let me show you some more. It's going to be a short video. I'm trying to give you an overview of your cast possibilities, and that's it. Now, slaves come in two major categories. Let me get up close. The one they have two different names, Kajiris or Thrall. Kajiris is what they call a male slave in the southern area of Gore. And I don't know if you noticed, I showed a big map in video one. The south is warmer, things like that. The Thrall lives in the northern area. Some people would call the Viking area, and there's a lot of reasons for that. But the point is, although many people deny it's Viking, Norman did a lot of borrowing from cultures and research on different cultures to put this series together, which is one of the reasons why it's a beautiful thing. So Thralls are the male, and you can tell they dress a little bit differently. And on the other side, let me turn around, we have the women slaves. Bring it in. Left side Southern, Kajira, and the right side's Bond. You're saying, why does the Bond have more clothes? Again, it's Viking area. Think of Scandinavia and Norway and America, what we call Earth. They need more clothes. Now, and I'm not going into a lot of details about these roles. There is one other category, which I'll show you in a minute, that you don't have to be. Not all women are slaves is what I'm trying to say. And I'll show you in a minute what I mean. Again, I'm trying to get through these. All these videos I'm going to keep till I get into more training. They're going to stay fairly short. Right now, I'm just trying to get you an understanding. Panthers. I explained in video one that I did that the panther is an Amazon woman. And just like the Amazon woman, or think of Wonder Woman, they tend to fight with bows and arrows, not swords. They live in force. They live together, mostly women. In fact, they despise women, men, except they do capture them and fuck them once in a while. But the point is, overall, they see the knife on the lower end. Slaves don't carry weapons. Panthers do. So think of Wonder Woman. There are a load of panthers in Second Life. I mean in Gore, excuse me. There are a load of panthers in Gore. Lots of women who do not want to be slaves, but want to live in the forest and torment free people. And that's not an exaggeration. However, let me cap that by saying that panthers are extremely essential to Gore. There's one other line of characters that we've not brought up, and I'm going to do that right now, and then I'm going to end this. And there's some wonderful books on this. If you speak German, please come to this spot. Okay, these are the free men, free women. And let me turn around. And so you can be a slave or you can be a free woman. Why is that important? Well, essentially, free women are vastly different than the slaves. Number one, if you notice, they cover their body and have face coverings. Two, they own businesses. They actually belong to the 5 castes I showed you over there. Women can be not warriors. That's the one caste they can't be. But they can be scribes. They can be all the others. And they can own businesses. You can be a baker. You can be sell goods. I own a merchant shop, and one of the things, the woman next to me sells scrolls and books. She does. And by the way, I'm excited. She's setting that shop up now. The woman next to her sells wines imported from Gore and different places. There are blacksmiths. There are women who run. There's a woman slaver. We have women slaves. We have women slavers. So basically, women can be anything. There are women rulers of cities. Not a lot, but there are women rulers of cities. There are women who it's anything you want to be. So what I'm trying to say is Gore roleplay is pretty much anything you want in terms of characters. Think of something you want to run a newspaper. I know a woman that does that. She runs the paper over in a couple of cities have women running newspapers. If you want to be a baker, a black anything, that's your task as a woman, or you can be a slave. I'm going to be honest. If you're a submissive, you don't want to be a free woman. Um, the only people should be slaves are ones that are submissive or have a slave type spirit in real life. And I'll explain that another time. If you're a woman who wants to be an independent woman and really don't see yourself in either one of those roles, a free woman. Come in, run your own business, take up a shop. I've got a video that I'll post showing you different shops, but not today. Okay, that's it. And I just wanted you to see the possibilities. Next video, I'm going to literally take you in different places of Gore and show you the diversity and landscape that you can play, not just in characters.
That's all, folks.